What's going on, gentlemen? Today we're going to be talking about how you can command respect without being a giant ass. If you have ever been in a situation where somebody is talking down on you, or they're picking jokes at you, or they're saying things that you do not like, then there is a reason as to why this person thinks that they are allowed to say these things in front of you or to you, and that is because you have not established the fact that you are to be respected and that they have to know that. In this video, we're going to be breaking down 3 things so that you know what to establish in a relationship so the other person knows that you are to be respected. 3 things we're going to be breaking down are going to be the first impression you have with somebody, your internal habits, as well as your external habits. So starting with first impression, obviously the first thing we need to work on is eye contact. Now, when 2 people are walking up to each other or approaching each other, or however, whatever the situation is, when you are coming up to somebody and you're about to engage in a conversation, you want to make sure that you have and maintain eye contact with this person. You don't want to be just looking down, looking around, hoping they don't see you. That shows that you are afraid to confront them. You are afraid of letting them in front of you. Do not be afraid of letting them in front of you. You are an awesome person. They're an awesome person. They're just as insecure as you are. Walk up to them. Maybe you want to have a little smile on your face. Just show that you're in a good mood. You're in a positive mood and nothing can penetrate you. Maybe you don't want to do that. Depends on who you are. You walk up to them and you maintain eye contact with them. If you are anything like I used to be and struggled with maintaining eye contact because you felt weird, it felt a little awkward, you didn't want to feel like you were invading their space just by staring down into their soul, then what you want to do is just consciously work on this, especially with people around you that you're already comfortable with, people that you already know. Work on maintaining that eye contact, okay? It's going to feel weird and awkward at first, but if you can maintain that eye contact, that shows that you are not bothered, you are not the one being awkward. If they want to make it awkward, that's cool, that's on them, but you're not the one being awkward. You're comfortable in your skin. When I was first working on this, I would just stare into people's eyes and it felt really awkward, but the more you work on it, the more you realize that you can just look at them and you can hear them, and it's a lot easier to focus on what they're saying because you're locked in. It's like you have an intimate kind of engagement with another human being, and they're not talking to anybody else. You're not talking to anybody else, so you two are giving each other the time of day. That should be respected alone. Like, you need to listen to them and they need to listen to you. So the only times I look away is usually when I have to think about something or come back with them with a statement or a question, and I want to make sure that I'm thinking about it correctly, because sometimes if I'm just looking right into their eyes, I can get distracted and my mind starts racing. So I think I look around a little bit and kind of think of something and say, okay, yeah, this, and that, blah, 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 right? And you go right back to the eye contact. And then you will notice when you start working on this that a lot of people are really bad with maintaining eye contact. And once you establish the fact that you can maintain eye contact and you're comfortable with that, you're going to notice everybody around you is trying to look away like all awkwardly. So once you can establish the fact that you are okay with looking at this person, you're going to notice a lot of people have a hard time maintaining eye contact, and that's going to put you in a position of power because you know you're comfortable and you just looking at them and they're just kind of being awkward and you're just like, all right, like what are you looking at, bro? I'm right here, come on. Now, another big part of the first impression is the handshake. When you walk up to somebody, you want to make sure that you are maintaining that eye contact. Maybe you want to look down to see where their hand's at so you don't grab their forearm or something. Grab their hand, grab it firmly, grab it not awkwardly so they're not, you know, holding on to your fingers or whatever. Grab it and shake it firmly and stare into their eyes and show them that you are comfortable in your skin, you're comfortable with who you are, and you're not to be toyed with. Body language is also a very huge thing that you need to understand how to control, because body language and the sub-communications that you tell just by how you stand or like how you look, you know, if you're all closed off and awkward, people are going to be able to read you a lot more than the words that are actually coming out of your mouth, okay? Body language speaks very, very loudly. So make sure that when you are talking to this person, whether you're sitting down or standing up, that one, you have good posture. A really nice exercise that helped me with my posture is simply just going up to a wall, putting your heels up against the wall, standing straight up, pinning your shoulders against the wall, pinning your head against the wall. And essentially what that's doing is lining you straight up, unless your wall is like straight tilted, which I'm sure your walls are not like that. So go up against the wall and stand up against it and just kind of get the muscle memory going and let you figure out what perfect posture looks like. And also remember not to sway back and forth, okay? Like you're uncomfortable, like you kind of want to flee, like they're talking to you and they're standing there all firm and you're just don't really want to be there, you're kind of uncomfortable, okay? That's a big part of body language. Stand there firm. Tall posture that you are ready to stand here for 3 hours and talk to this person if you can if you want to. Now also make sure that you are comfortable mentally, okay? If you are having a ton of things racing through your mind, if you're focused on what they think of you or how your hair looks or all the people around you, what they're gonna think of you, no, just be comfortable in your mentality. Just focus on this conversation. Don't care what's going on, and just make sure you're relaxed in your head, because if you have a bunch of things going on, you're really not even gonna listen to that person, and it's gonna come off very wrong in that conversation. So stand there, tall posture, you know, you're not swaying, and you're comfortable. You know, you can, like, you don't really have anything going through your head. You're not thinking of anything. You're just talking to this person. You're super comfortable. And lastly, with the first impression is that you want to talk with your hands. Like, as you guys can tell in my videos, I like to talk to my hands. It's kind of hard to fit it in the frame all the time. Talking with your hands is absolutely huge because it adds more character, it adds more enthusiasm, it adds more emphasis to the words that you are saying. And also, no one wants to just talk to somebody who's got their arms by their side, they're like a stick, they're just talking like this, they look really uncomfortable, they don't know what's going on. So if you're loose, if you're cool, if you're just like, nothing's bothering me right now, I'm clear in my head, I'm fine how I am, I don't care what people think of me, and I want to push my ideas out there so that you understand how to interpret them. And another pro tip to kind of help you stay mentally clear and have that self-confidence is to stop focusing on yourself and focus on them. Stop focusing on how you look, stop focusing on how you feel, or if you're anxious or if you're nervous to go talk to somebody, or if you don't know what to say next. Stop focusing on yourself. Focus on them. And that's going to ease your body because you're not thinking about all these things that are going to kind of hurt that relationship because you're thinking about yourself and what you're doing wrong and all these little nitty-gritty things. Focus on the other person and what they are saying, and it will naturally come off that you are listening to them, that you're at ease, and that you're not worried about how you are, and that's going to show your confidence. Point number 2 that we need to break down and work on is our internal habits. First up is going to be self-awareness and strong values. You have to understand yourself. You have to understand what you like, what you don't like, what you will accept coming out of somebody's mouth and what you will not accept coming out of somebody's mouth. The values that you believe in, okay? You have to know what you stand for. If you don't know what you stand for, you're not gonna stand up for what you believe in. And really the only way to work on this confidence builder, this value establishment, is to feed yourself information. Keep learning, self-growth. Understand yourself, keep growing yourself physically, mentally, spiritually. Do what you can to keep learning and feeding your brain, and through this lifelong process, you will establish stronger values that you can stand up for. When you see other people disrespecting your values or disrespecting you, you know what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Also, focus on keeping yourself positive as well as keeping them positive. Just remember that negative, pessimistic people absolutely hate a strong, optimistic person. Now, what do I mean by this? Let's say a negative person comes into your life and they're just like all grumpy or whatever, like they're trying to shoot down all your ideas or whatever, but you're happy, you're optimistic, you are positive, you're sending out positive vibes. Like, no one can break down your walls. And if this negative person comes up and he's trying to break you down with his dumb ideas or his pessimistic views, then you're just like, okay bro, like that's cool, that's your take on life. You want to see the negatives and everything, and there's always a bright side. Like, no matter what you say, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. And if you are known as the guy who is always positive and always uplifting people, no one's gonna want to disrespect that guy in the first place. This is a very subtle thing. It's almost like manipulation by being positive, I guess. But if you can implant in the minds of other people, no one can break you, no one's gonna try and mess with you, no one's gonna try and disrespect you, because then they're gonna look like the ass for trying to disrespect the guy who's awesome, who's always trying to help other people, who's always trying to be positive. So really understand yourself and try to be positive, try to be optimistic. Try to do what you can to make other people positive and optimistic as well by transferring that positive energy into them. And the very last thing we should break down is our external habits, so that people understand that you are to be respected and not to be controlled or manipulated or even messed with or taken as a fool. Stick to your word. Whatever comes out of your mouth, make sure it is true and make sure that you can hold on to that and stay true to that. If you say, let's set up this meeting for Thursday at 5 o'clock, that you can make that meeting, okay? That you don't have other obligations coming on. Just think about some people in your life who rarely ever stick to their word. Do you have a lot of respect for that person? Is that someone that you could see up in a high noble place, let's say like as a president, do you think that person would make a good president? Do you think that person would make a good parent? Do you think that person is respectable? Do you respect them as if you were to respect like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or something, or someone that has earned your respect? No, probably not. Don't gossip. It's the same exact concept. If you're a gossiper, if somebody hears you gossiping about somebody else, they're not gonna trust you. They're not gonna respect you as much. Just think about it. It's very obvious. So stick to your word and don't make any confirmations, don't make any plans, anything that you don't yet know that you can do or you can stick to. And if someone invites you out, or if someone says, oh, let's plan this, let's make a meeting here, then say, okay, let me get back to you on that. I do want to do this, but I can't confirm something right now. So I don't want to like say something and not be able to deliver on that, okay? That's a lot more respectable. And lastly, be consistent. Be consistent with your actions and your beliefs and your values. Be consistent with your promises. Be on time. Be known as the guy who is reliable, not somebody who's unreliable, because then no one's gonna want to talk to you, no one's gonna want to hang out with you, no one's gonna respect you, okay? You have to be a very reliable person. You have to understand that what you say and what you promise to other people is you're dealing with other people and their emotions and their lives and their chaos as well as your chaos. So if you're gonna make a promise to somebody, or if you believe in something, stick to that. And if your belief systems change or your values change, make sure there's a good reason for that and that you can explain that. Don't just be hypnotized by, you know, like let's say politics, okay? Let's say you're a liberal, the next day you're a conservative, and no, everyone's gonna be like, dude, what happened? Like, why did that switch change, right? Like, is there a good reason as to why that happened, or is it just because you've been fed information from one side that you believed, and then all of a sudden the next day you believe this side's information? At the end of the day, if you want to be someone who is respected, you have to respect yourself first. You have to love and respect yourself, and remember that is just a transference of energy. If you are insecure and you don't believe in yourself and you don't trust yourself and you know that you tell little lies all the time, fix these small little things in yourself. That is self-growth. If you can grow yourself and love yourself and understand yourself and be confident about what you stand in as a person, then you have to realize nobody else has power over you. No one's better than you in any way. No one specific person or group is better than you in any way. And once you can understand that, it's a lot easier to believe in something and then stand up to it when someone tries to knock it down, because it's like, bro, this is something I believe in. Like, why would you say that? Just because you don't believe the same thing does not mean that you can knock this down, unless you have solid proof to try and change my mind, which probably isn't gonna happen because you're negative and you suck, bro. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Go ahead and let me know down below in the comments some video suggestions, because it's been kind of hard doing this daily content thing and like keeping up with video topics, so I would really appreciate that. As always, have a fantastic rest of your day, guys. Peace.